Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you check out whoop, whoop. Make sure you check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. Go find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Hive, and YouTube.
You have hives?
You do too.
I don't.
Go
I
find
have
us on
chlamydia.
Wow. No, you don't. Okay.
I know now, thanks to a topical cream.
You are so weird.
I don't really, that I'm aware of anyway.
All right. Here we go. Let's talk about some movies.
We got a shorter week this week. We only have 4 movies. I've seen all 4 of them. You've only seen 2 of them.
Yes.
So
we'll go you, me.
Yeah. So, and we got some very bizarre variety.
It is.
We go from animation to horror to action comedy family. It's a very eclectic variation, if you will.
All right, baby. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready whenever
you are. Are you okay to talk about this one?
Yeah, I can dive right in.
Go.
All right, so the first one is the latest in the Spy Kids franchise, Spy Kids Armageddon. Now, a little preamble, if you will.
How many Spy Kids have there been, babe?
This is the 5th one.
Why is it not showing? Oh, goodness gracious.
What's not showing?
On
your own thing?
Yeah.
It's showing for us, though, right?
Let me show you.
Dog, can you stop scratching yourself, shaking the whole table? So this is the 5th Spy Kids movie. So they did, it's not even showing anything on the screen unless I'm behind.
Babe, that's what I just said.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
I was just kidding because I know that's what
Can you hear me?
I can punch you.
Don't punch me.
Anyway, so the franchise, the very first movie kind of came out of nowhere. It was directed by Robert Rodriguez, who I'm a huge fan of. He did Desperado and El Mariachi, and more recently he did Battle Angel, Alita Battle Angel, which I don't think you ever watched, which I really dug. I hope they make the sequel. It had Antonio Banderas, and was it Salma Hayek? Was that the wife? Or is it Carla Gugino? Oh, no. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh, you like her too.
And actually, the Machete character, Danny Trejo's, actually came from the Spy Kids movie.
Uh-huh.
They retold him to. I don't think he's still supposed to be the same version of the character, but he was Machete in Spy Kids as well.
Oh.
So anyway, it's also started Alexa Vega, and then had oh crap, I forgot the other boy's name. The one that's married to what's her face? All About That Bass.
Oh.
They're married with kids.
Really?
Yeah, they've been. Anyway,
doesn't matter. Not know that.
The movie did really well. They made a second one, which did really well. Then he made 2 follow-ups. I believe one was on Netflix. I think the other one is either straight to video or did theatrical release, and neither one of those did very well. Stallone showed up in the 3rd movie as the villain, Toy Maker.
Oh.
The last 2, the 3rd one and the 4th one, which was Spy Kids 3D Game Over and Spy Kids All the Time in the World. They both kind of went into kind of
a lot of Spy Kids.
Yeah, kind of a cheesy, cartoony area, very similar to Shark Boy and Lava Girl,
right?
Which Rodriguez did as well, which introduced the world to a young Taylor Lautner. So it kind of lost some of the fun edge the first 2 had, if you will, even though they're still family movies. But my kids were huge Spy Kids fans, and I really dug the first one. And so we were a Spy Kids family. My kids loved all of them. So, of course, when I found out Robert Rodriguez was directing yet another one for Netflix, this time it was a soft reboot. It has Gina Rodriguez, it has Zachary Levi as the parents this time around.
Nice.
Different set of kids. I thought, okay, I got to go into it. The trailer looked very much like it was still in the vein of the last 2. So I kind of threw my brain out the window and dived in. And it's exactly what that is. It's a decent family flick. I think it's a flick that kids will have fun with. It is cheesy. It is silly. It is very CGI heavy. But what I will say is smarter about this one is it's directly attached to video games. So a lot of the characters come out of the video games, kind of into the real world, and then they're inside the video games. And so some of the CGI world they're doing fits more along the story than just the wackiness of the world they're fighting.
It explains a little why.
It's not great. But if you're a fan of all the other films, then you will probably enjoy this one. I don't think these 2 kids are as good as the original kids, and it would have been cool to see some of the original kids show back up, even though they're grown people.
They're adults now.
Because I believe in the 4th one, Alexa Vega came back, and it was her kids, in the fourth movie. If I remember correctly. It's been so long. I remember the first and second one, and I vaguely remember the third one because of Stallone. And that was back when he was still kind of hadn't started making his big comeback again with the new Rockies and the new Rambos. He was kind of in that gray area of his career's over.
Yeah.
And he popped up. And so I was excited about it at that point. But this new one, like I said, Zachary Levi and Gina Rodriguez are good together. They're good in the film. Everybody seems to be having a good time. It knows what it is. And I find it kind of interesting and engaging because the evolution behind the scenes. There's a person named Racer Max, who is Robert Rodriguez's son.
Okay.
And he's the one that, if I remember, he kind of loosely created Shark Boy and Lava Girl. He just told his dad about them, and these are characters, and then built a movie around it.
No.
So I believe he was kind of helped with some of the Spy Kids stuff. He's now producer on this movie as an adult.
That's cool.
So it's an interesting, if you've ever heard any of the history stuff. But Robert Rodriguez is also known for directing and writing and scoring and doing a lot of the effects himself at Troublemaker Studios. So I'm always impressed. And again, this one is not, it's not a standout movie. You say, oh my God, this movie's badass.
Yeah.
It knows what it is. It has no problem being what it is. It's for kids. And I think it works for what it is, as cheesy and goofy as it is. If you hated the last two, you'll probably hate this one too, because it's like the same stuff. If you hate the other ones, you're going to hate all of them. So don't watch this. But if you want something for your kids that you can sit and watch with them, and it's not just another dumb cartoon, it has some sort of a little action adventure, silly gadgets. This movie is available on Netflix, and it is the movie to watch.
There you go. That sounds good.
Did you like any of the Spy Kids movies?
I did not watch any of the Spy Kids.
You haven't seen the first one at least?
Nope.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure you watched it because Antonio was in it.
Maybe I did because the kids watched it a lot.
Yeah.
But
I even watched it a couple.
I've not watched. If I have, that I've blocked it out, and I have not watched any since. I will tell you that. I'm not a Spy Kids person. It seems silly.
We're not. It is silly, but
I only know because the kids watched it all the time. I feel like.
Yeah.
And the Lava Girl thing. I feel like that played it.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl is not a good movie, but yeah, it's Carla Gugino, Gugino, sorry, and Cheech.
We always call her Gugino.
Yeah.
So it's okay. She knows.
Yeah, Daryl Sabara. That's who the other one.
I'm wondering if there's.
And she's Alexa Penavega now.
Yes, she got married.
Daryl Sabara, but he's the one that's married to All About That Bass.
What is her name? And I've been to her concert. Meghan Trainor.
Meghan
Trainor. I went to a concert. Oh my gosh, and I didn't even remember her name.
No.
Okay, this is not. Thank you.
Go
watch Spy Kids.
It is streaming now on the Netflix.
Okay, let's turn our attention to the Chewbacca's. I'm wondering if there's a way to raise
turn our attention to the Chewbacca's.
Because I don't like this. I need more Chewbacca stuff fans here. If y'all have anything.
You don't like what?
I don't like this empty spot.
Well, I had an idea for that.
We raise
no. I know. I had a different idea for that.
Okay.
I had, because I'm already in the search of some vintage curtains for my
curtains
office.
For you.
We'll just see if we can find some Chewbacca curtains.
Or
Wookiee curtains.
Or if there's bed sheets or whatever, I can make.
Yeah,
curtains.
We don't need a real curtain. That's a blackout curtain, which I could use for a different room. But
yes,
we just put a Chewbacca based thing up there.
Everywhere.
I think will work.
I want a blackout curtain in the bathroom.
We need a bunch of blackout curtains between
the movie room.
Any room that has a collection in it needs a blackout curtain, so you don't get sun on it.
Too.
So my office, that one office, and that one window in there, and then our theater needs blackout curtains.
I'm wondering if this would be the length of the bathroom one, because it's shorter.
Maybe.
Because
I don't know.
I know that's ridiculous. We have a TV in our bathroom.
But we don't need vintage for this one necessarily, so if we can just find some random Chewbacca.
My TV's backlit in the bathroom, and I can't see anything.
I'll find you some. Or if we just find some material, you can make something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even a bed sheet or something, I can make curtains.
Yeah, we just need something that is
Chewbacca
and or Wookiees. We might be able to find black chrysanthemum sheets or
Wookiee material.
Anyway,
moving on.
Spy Kids Armageddon is available now on Netflix.
All right, let's go to the next one. This one, you guys.
Daryl Sabara does not own Sabaros.
I've been looking forward to this movie for a while. Yeah, because I thought it was just super cute looking. And it's Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. I was like, is this like a Ruby Gilmore ripoff?
I was torn on this one because the trailer never really intrigued me, although I thought it looked vibrant. I thought it looked like it could be fun. But at the same time, all the initial trailers to me felt like it was going to be one of those animated features that kind of secondhand feature that comes and goes and nobody cares, like a straight to video kind of thing. But then the more I saw more trailers, the more I kind of looked at stuff, it started growing on me. And of course, knowing it came from from DreamWorks, the same people that did How to Train Your Dragon and Shrek, I'm like, it could be something there. We'll see.
Yeah.
What'd you think? What's it about?
Okay, first of all, it's about Ruby Gillman. And like I was like,
is she an attorney?
I'm always thinking Rory Gilmore for some reason, but anyway, Ruby Gillman. She's the little girl there that's blue, and they are a family of Kraken. Okay,
they're Canadians.
And you're like, but why are they blue? At first, I'm like, how is she trying to blend in and go to school and stay on dry land because she's blue? And somebody's like, why are you blue? We're from Canada, eh? I'm like,
they're like, okay,
that makes complete sense. And then you see in the trailer, she's going to have to fight her nemesis, which is the mermaid.
Which is a fun twist on the story, which is usually the other side.
Yes.
The Krakens are bad and the mermaids are sweet. But in mythology, mermaids are known to be crazy.
Well, yeah, they lure people up and kill you and eat you.
Well, that and siren, kind of like the siren mentality too, yeah.
Well, and as we know also...
Well, sirens are different than mermaids.
Okay, well, but as we also know from the TV show... the one with the lady in the plane. Help me. The new version. The TV show. The plane.
Oh, you're talking
Fantasy Island.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking Fantasy Island, but what are you talking about?
The mermaids on that show are evil too.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. There's mermaids on that show.
Spoiler. Well, of course we're on an island. Did it?
I think so.
Man, I love what's her name so much.
It's actually a really good twist on that show.
It's good. Anyway.
I might be wrong.
So. Basically, she's trying to be just a normal old teenager. Craziness happens. She accidentally gets in the water, and then that's when craziness ensues.
It was in fact canceled after 2 seasons.
Oh, I really enjoyed that show. That's too bad. Okay.
Well, I like Rosalind Sanchez from Desperate Housewives.
I just like her.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that's what happened. Craziness ensues.
And I actually really enjoyed this movie.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
Cute.
It's exactly what I expected visually. It's very in your face with the color palettes. It's vibrant. It's fun. The characters are fun to watch. There's some silliness happening. There's still some heart, but it almost feels like you're getting 2 different movies because you have the above water movie, then you have the underwater movie.
Yes.
And it's 2 different visual thing because she physically changes. So it almost feels like she becomes a different character when she's in the water than when she's on land. And then the twist of everything just made it a fun kind of new take. Do you think they purposely made the mermaid girl look like Ariel, kind of?
I don't know, but I mean, she's a mermaid with bright red hair.
I mean, technically, Ariel's been portrayed in every color, hair, and every nationality throughout
at this
years.
Point, yes.
Disney just one that cornered the market of. Where are you going? Get back over here.
I was getting a
blow
tissue.
Your nose on your own time.
I was getting a tissue. Yeah, I liked it. I thought this was the cutest movie. I think it's one of those coming of age stories. She's a teenager trying to find her way through life. The big thing is prom, and she wants to ask this guy, but every time she tries, like she freezes and, just silly things happen. She has her girl crew that are her BFFs.
This movie reminded me of
trying to deal with her parents.
What was the name of
the annoying little brother?
The one with the panda, the red panda movie.
Oh, Turning Red.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of that, even though it's not about becoming a woman necessarily.
Yeah. You know what?
But this one it has the same kind of tones of growing up and trying to find your place, but also not being what somebody else thinks you need to be, and people dealing with their own issues and then projecting them on their children.
Yes.
And then you have the other side, the family's judging you because they made a different life choice against it. So it's got like that cultural divide that a lot of people have.
Absolutely.
But also, like you were saying, the coming of age and the different family members and acceptance and people thinking and perception.
Yes.
Perceiving what you think something is.
Correct.
And how it's kind of sold to you. So everybody thinks mermaids they're so sweet, but the reality is something else. And Krakens are going to kill everybody.
Yeah. And they're actually there to protect us. So the other thing too is if you go really deep, this is about generational trauma. It really is. Her grandmother's one thing, her mom's one thing, and then they both expect her to be something, and it's completely opposite of what it is, but no one's ever told her or asked her, what do you want?
Yeah.
The other thing too is you mentioned the colors and how vibrant it is. I really liked the colors and how they did the color palette. And when she does become Kraken, it kind of glows and brightens up in the bottom of the ocean, because we know in the ocean there are these things that glow and we don't get to see them. And I'm never going in the ocean again.
Yes, you will. We'll get you in there for something.
But the other thing is cool. I didn't know if you noticed her hair. It's like inky, inky squiddy kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's not not actual hair. So I'm like, why didn't anybody say anything about that? But
I don't think it knows it on the land. I think it is more like hair.
no, but see, no, it's not. It's always kind of like a
No, I know, but I
oil.
don't think it has like the visual look of the tentacle type
I
thing
know,
like you
but
see
it
in the
looked
big variation
oily.
behind her on land.
It
Because it
looked
hasn't
like
kicked in.
gel
Like, just
hair.
the same reason she doesn't
She
have.
wore a lot of hats.
Same reason she doesn't have actually like suction cups on all her hands all the time.
And she's always covered up from head
I love
to toe.
I love
It's funny.
the ongoing playing with the fact she doesn't have bones, so she's like always flipping her body around. It's hilarious.
Because she's talking, do you know how hard it is to stand up straight all day? It's a cute movie. I think it's a good one for everyone.
It's another good animated family flick. The animation's beautiful. It's a good story. It's by the numbers. You know where it's going. Yeah. You know, we're sitting there like acting like there's some kind of big reveal, and we're like, we all know what's going to happen here, sister. But I don't think that matters because the story that it's telling, it flows well. It's entertaining. It's got action. It's got heart. It's got all the stuff.
I'm ready to watch it with the grandbaby and see if she pays attention.
See if it captures her attention.
I hope so. Did you leave this for me? Thank you.
I did.
It's stuck.
Yeah, a lot of them are like that. So anyway, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken is available on Blu-ray and DVD and everything this Tuesday.
Nice.
I believe.
Okay.
I believe
so.
Yes, it's this Tuesday.
Okay, that's cool.
So moving on, what else we got?
All right. You want to do that one or that one?
It doesn't matter. That one's the big movie. Wasn't even the big one this weekend, but whatever you want to do. I don't care.
We're going to go here. This is the new Hulu movie of the week. And guys, you need to watch this movie. That's all I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, so, I'm sorry. The movie is called No One Will Save You, which, as you can see from the image, it's an alien abduction story. It's from the writer-director Brian Duffield, who you may or may not know, but he is the writer for the Babysitter series they did on Netflix that we never did watch. So like a slasher-type flicks, there's two of them, I believe. He also wrote Love and Monsters and Underwater, which is the Kristen Stewart movie and then he also directed Spontaneous, that movie where people are spontaneously combusting.
Which was actually really good and interesting.
Do you remember Love and Monsters? This is the one with Dylan O'Brien from Teen Wolf, and they're in that.
Yes.
The monsters. It's a great movie, too. It's a love story. But
it's totally a love story.
And then Underwater is Kristen Stewart, and it's basically the movie Aliens Underwater.
Monsters,
So he's got some cool stuff on his belt. So I was interested to see what he did with this. And I'm always cautious going into any kind of alien abduction movie because more often than not, they either steer so close to trying to be like the old movies, or they try to go so far ahead to be something new. Neither one worked.
Yeah.
Like the older version of the movies worked because it was that time and you didn't expect that stuff. If you go too far in there, it kind of feels cliched and it feels, okay, I've seen this billions of times. When you start going too far and creating all these different monsters and creating all these different gadgets and this technologies and ships, and then it becomes just a sci-fi movie and you kind of don't care about the fear of the abductions and all that. And then when you get into the jokes of anal probing and all that stuff of alien abduction, so sometimes it kind of gets unintentionally humorous.
Yeah.
But this one, they bring you together, and it's essentially stars one person.
Yeah.
Caitlin Dever, however you want to call it. She's from Last Man Standing, from Justified. She was in the movie Booksmart. And she basically leads this movie alone. There are some other characters, but this is her movie.
And I think one of the things you and I both like is there is pretty much no dialogue. Yeah. She speaks like 2 lines through the entire film.
I think the count was she has 8 lines in the whole movie.
Really?
Something like that.
It's like she screams a lot.
And most of it's not till the very end of the movie.
Yeah, in the very end. And I liked it. At one point I'm like, wait a minute, she has not actually talked to anyone. But that's part of the movie.
Yeah.
Something's happened in her past that has isolated her from the rest of the town. Yeah, and if you notice, anytime she tries to wave at people, they all turn away and ignore her.
I guess we should tell you the premise of the movie.
Oh, sorry.
Is this girl, you don't really know what happened. You just know something happened. She misses somebody. You don't know if they broke up. You don't know if they're dead. You don't know if there was a crime. You don't know if it was just a relationship gone wrong. You don't know anything about it. You just know she misses somebody. She's by herself. As you said, you could tell people have something against her, whatever reason, whether they're shunning her or whether they don't know her, whatever. And then you're kind of following her.
Her mom died because she goes to visit her at the cemetery.
Yeah.
So she's literally
But beyond that, yeah, you don't really know. She's just in this farm type house.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, aliens come. And then from that moment on, it is a nonstop kind of chaotic ride of survival. up until the ending, which we'll get to that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think of the film?
I really enjoyed this movie.
I did too. This movie was awesome.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I didn't really like. I liked all of it. I think people may not like the ending, but yeah. I got it. I did.
I agree with you. I think that's where the movie's going to divide people.
Mm-hmm.
Some people either aren't going to understand it.
Correct.
They're going to think it doesn't fit the movie we were watching before.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're going to just say, but, that's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think the depth of what it shows at the end is actually brilliant.
Yeah.
It's actually very sad ending, but a very happy ending at the same time, which is a weird line to walk, and one that might confuse you when you say, how can it be happy and sad? You have to see it.
Well, and with that, people are going to be like, now I was rooting for her. I don't know if I am, or do I like her? Do I not like her? I think that's going to be a judgment call. But
I will tell you, they do finally tell you what happened. It is part of the story, but it is not there for most of the movie, but it doesn't need to be there. The majority of the movie is her basically trying to survive this alien attack. And I applaud them because they went with the old school alien designs, very much Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
And
but they elevated them.
Yeah, they included some others.
Yeah, they elevated them with some very cool dialogues, which they're more like clicking sounds and roars. Some vibration noises. They become creatures instead of just aliens. And then there's different sizes of them. There's different variations. They're all the same, but they all do slightly different things. So it's almost like you think about it, if you're sending 7 people in a room, this guy is a big muscle guy, this guy's a little short guy, this guy's normal, this one knows weapons, this one knows computers. It's that idea where they send so many different versions that she's got to deal with, and each one is cooler than the next. And I think the effects were done really well, because that's the other thing that loses me on something like this when they have that style of an alien. It sometimes looks silly when they start finally seeing them close up. These are really cool looking.
They are really cool looking.
It almost had like a
creepy
Exorcist vibe to them, because they were like doing that. You know, they were sitting like this, and they're kind of like, you know, that's these very almost bone breaking turns that I thought was kind of cool.
It was cool. There's so much I want to say, but I don't want to spoil anything. I just feel like
this is one of those movies that needs to be experienced.
Yeah, and I feel like it's multi-layer. I mean, obviously we have aliens. So first, do you believe in aliens? Maybe not like little green men aliens.
I'm torn on it because I'm torn, and not because of a religious thing, and not because I think, there's no such thing as aliens. I can't possibly imagine that we have all this massive universe and there's not something else. But if you want to get into the religion side of it, there's no way there's something else.
Why not?
Because that's not how religion is based. It's based on the stuff that was on this planet and stuff. But if you're going to say that, you're going to have to go to my theory then of the different beliefs and different religions from the same God, and not say Christianity is the only one. If you're going to then say, okay, but we can have stuff on another planet, even though Christianity is saying this is it. So you can't have one and then not take the other.
I think you can.
How?
Because I think specifically.
Are you trying to say now they're Christian on the other planet too?
No. Well, though they might be. But I'm going to say that
a little alien shows up to church with his Bible.
Yeah. And they're like, the Bible specifically says that human beings, we were created in God's image. So that to me allows the openness that there are other creations that are not in God's image, maybe not needing the salvation of their souls.
Okay.
Don't know.
You say that then. So why would that?
I'm being open.
No, I get that. And I'm not even arguing that you're right or wrong with that. But why does the same thing not apply to different religions in different countries then?
I don't know, dude. I'm just going with what I know.
You're not going with what you know. You're going with what you believe.
Okay, I'm going with what I believe.
Because what I'm saying is, if you believe that maybe it wasn't God's image, or it's whatever's God in that world.
I think God's God in every world, personally. But that's
fine.
Faith.
So you're saying that in other planets or whatever, potentially, there's other beings shaped in God's image, but maybe they don't look like us, right?
I think we're the only ones in God's image. I think everything else is just everything else.
But then,
like dogs are just dogs.
But then that goes against the nature of what they say God created everything.
He did create everything.
Okay, well then, but that counterbalances that we're the only being in God's image. is
Dogs are not in God's image, but they're.
I'm not saying
God.
I know that, but that means there would be a creation.
So
of God.
why
But
can't there
would,
be a little green alien guy
why
that's
would,
like a dog?
Then why would God say, okay, just this one planet I like, I'm creating them all in my image, just here, but we'll have this other vast universe of aliens and other races and things and other planets. Don't care about y'all, but I'm still going to take the time to make you.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Is it possible?
It's the same idea to me is when they say humans are the only things with a soul.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that being possible.
I think doggies do. Oh my gosh, today.
But the Bible says that the animals don't have souls. But to me, that seems counterintuitive because if you're alive,
it seems
if you have thought, if you care about your kids and your small children, your cubs,
right? Like we know that dogs care for
you watch
their
animals, how they care for each other. You watch animals, how they learn and express love and they express anger. You can't have all those things if you don't have a soul.
But animals aren't necessarily malicious, like on purpose, like we are. That's why we need help.
But that's what I'm saying is, how do people justify saying dogs don't have souls when they die? They just go in the dirt.
That's why I believe that all dogs go to heaven.
But if God created them, God already said, look, you're going to be a dog. You kind of got a free reign because you're going to act like a dog. I know exactly what you do. And if you're a bad dog, not y'all,
they're asleep.
Why are they normally a bad dog? Because a human did it.
Because
so you got changed from the God's image of the dog. So they've already said. That's why the cartoon says all dogs go to heaven because God's already created them. Their soul exists.
They're so sweet.
But they can't exist without a soul, or they wouldn't be alive. The soul's what makes you alive.
I know. Okay, let me tell you a real quick story. I agree with you. I was just putting it out there. Is it possible? But
I know. But I'm just saying if you're going to say that there's other creation, then I don't understand. Like my theory with religion has always been.
I know.
I think every country you go to that God exists and He makes this country over here acts a certain way. They believe a certain way. Their culture's a certain way. So I'm going to give you a different version of me, so you understand it.
I know what you're saying. I don't necessarily believe that, but I understand why.
Why wouldn't you believe that if it's the same? I'm not talking about the crazy.
I just believe in brown Jesus because that's what it is.
That's fine, but. Okay, that's another side of the world.
I know, that's where he came from.
And then it comes over to here, and how do we know that this same person, the brown Jesus, didn't create whatever for these other people?
I know what you're saying, Beth.
Because there's all that block of time that's not in the Bible that we don't know what Jesus was up to.
Well, according to the Book of Mormon, he was over here with the Native Americans.
I know, but I'm saying every book has a story about a God or something like that. And if it's all basis on love and being kind to one another,
I think that's all we can do is just love everybody and be nice.
I just think it's a very
I know what you're saying.
One-sided. Again, that's my issue with organized religion. It's a one-sided thought process. Is I'm right, you're wrong. Yet if there's an entity that's controlling the entire world,
that's evil.
Then
Then we're like.
Then how is it?
Oh, I thought you were talking like an evil entity.
No. I'm saying we have the entity of God. The idea of God is controlling the earth, and according to you, nowhere else, because He only likes Earth. Everybody else is stupid.
No, He's controlling the entire universe.
I'm sorry. He only made us on Earth because He likes this. He likes the poles in summer here.
Oh gosh, it's so hot.
But that means that he's going to say, okay, I control all this. I'm going to give you independent thought, but I'm going to let the majority of you just do whatever you want. And it doesn't matter, mostly because we don't have enough space in heaven to bring everybody here. So do whatever you want, but I don't have enough power to control it.
Wow.
I mean, that's kind of the idea if you really think about it.
I know, but it's not like that. I know what you're saying.
It's not like that because that's what you believe. It's not like that.
Okay, I was just asking if you think aliens exist out there.
This all falls into the same thing. Okay, my thing with aliens is I can't.
There's something out there.
I can't believe there's nothing else out there.
I agree. It's so big. There's no way. However, they probably don't look like the typical little green alien people.
Maybe not. I hope they do because.
Do you think there are aliens on this planet hiding among us?
I have an illegal one living with me right now.
Like the movie and the TV show V. They're here. The lizard people.
At some point somewhere, somebody decided that the foreign people are aliens.
I know.
Illegal aliens. Why would they? Who said illegal aliens first? And why did they say it? Because. Maybe you're a descendant of aliens.
Whatever.
It's your culture that always says that the pyramids were made by aliens. Nobody's saying that the Baptist church.
They were made
I know, but nobody's saying the Baptist church in Garland was made by aliens. They're talking about the pyramids
and the made by white people.
I'm saying, but there's never anything in the white culture that they say aliens might have done that. It's always in the Hispanic culture.
Yes.
And they also call y'all illegal aliens. So,
I do think the pyramids will
be. Do you have tentacles?
Made by
Show me your tentacles.
Anyways. I also think the movie is like really about this girl's like loneliness
It is.
and her guilt and sadness and trauma, and then aliens. So I mean, you're already like so low that I don't think she's even second guessing fighting back. You know, some
No,
people are
and,
probably like, but she's like,
and
I've
one of the things
already dealt with so
one of the
much.
things I do like is a lot of most movies like this, any slasher horror films, they usually try to put some personal issue that is kind of interconnected or interwoven with what's happening to them. But most of the time, it feels forced.
Yeah.
It feels like, hey, we know this person was abused. Oh, now there's a slasher trying to kill them.
Right.
This one felt like she just happened to get stuck in the middle of these people, and then what she's dealing with plays into where the movie goes, and so it fits like, oh, okay. And this is only one area, so it's not like she's saving the world. It's just one town, but it's happening everywhere. So like they could make No One Will Save You 35 movies. Yeah. It needs to be a different person dealing with a different situation.
Yeah. But if it's I might want to go back and watch the first part of it, because now once you get to the end and you find out what happened, but then also the way you find out what happened and the other people around her find out what happened, it's like interesting what happens after that. But now knowing that, if I'll go back to the beginning of what happened when the creatures first show up, I want to see if I can tell in her, like, is she remembering some other things from now that I know? Because her performance is so good, by the way. She's amazing.
Like I've always thought she's a great actress. Good.
Always.
And I've been a fan of hers. Like she was in Justified, I think, before Last Man Standing, so I was already a fan. But
she's just
the
good.
fact that she runs this movie, like there's so much
it's
depth
just her
and emotion, but she's saying nothing. It's in her face, it's in her actions. It's to me that's a harder way to perform.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like somebody that has to have a helmet on and perform, and you still get their body language. Like she's doing that, but also the face and the sadness. And you feel moments where she has pain. You feel moments where she's angry. You feel moments of fear, and just that simple change of the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's an art thing. Is when you're drawing a face, most of your change in expression comes from your eyebrows. It's you do this, you're normal. You do this, it can be like or it can be sadness. You go this, it's anger. You know.
Well, and it's also theater too, because that was one of the things that Kyle, God bless you wherever you are, he used to say, like if your wigs or your hats or whatever, cover your eyebrows.
Did you say something in Spanish?
No, it's like God bless you wherever you are.
I mean, I know he passed away.
He's like, you can never cover your eyebrows. Never cover your eyebrows. So wigs, hats, whatever. He's like, no, never cover your eyebrows.
Has too much forehead in the theater.
Yes, but that's a thing. You can't because it's interesting. And I saw just the picture of her doing that one scene where it's dropping her up and down or whatever.
Yeah.
And like literally they were hoisting her and they have like this big fluffy mattress thing on the ground. They're like dropping her and pulling her up and dropping her. Oh my gosh. To be like doing it for real, not just, you know.
Well, and having to react to that and not be like, you know.
Yes.
It's kind of like
having to stay straight.
It very much reminds me of the guy in Upgrade that had to do the fight scene without any movement.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like everything you know about fighting, don't do that.
It's like, don't do that. Just do like, good.
I'll never forget watching that and going, how are you even doing that? That's not how you move or whatever. And interviewing him and saying,
amazing.
They told him to choreograph and they said, now don't do any of that movement. We just told you.
Do nothing. Wow, it's crazy.
Anyways, I love this movie. I thought it was
really good. I'm ready to watch it again.
I'm ready to hear what some other people think about it. I saw a couple other people posted about it, and
I hope they liked it.
So I hope it finds its thing because this is one of those that I would have loved to see on the big screen. It is a dark movie because a lot of it's at night in the darker house. So you might need to turn the contrast of your TV up or watch it in the dark or on a good screen.
I'm rating it. I'm giving it a high rating.
But I'm also interested to see what a lot of people think of the ending more than anything.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. Okay.
Anyway, it is available now on Hulu. It's one that I would have loved to see on the big screen, but I don't know if it would have grabbed audiences just the way, especially the way the market is now. So I'm glad it's on Hulu for people to enjoy.
All right. We got one more. Tell me about this.
All right.
Expend4bles 4.
All right. It's just called Expend4bles, but with a 4 instead of an A. So I will tell you, I'll preface this by saying I love the Expend4bles movies.
Yep. We've watched
them
all
the
this week.
Third one is not as strong because they went PG-13, trying to capture more audiences. But the whole premise of the series was bring in these old iconic action stars, blend in a few new action stars, and we build these teams based on this. And that's what they've done in all 3 movies. Love them or hate them, They've successfully brought in mostly people that were of the action genre or on their way into the action genre, with the exception of a few, like Liam Hemsworth wasn't really a big action guy, but he's kind of a young buck. He can do some stuff, and so there's a few of them like that were here. The latest entry is probably the weakest entry of the bunch. Now, I say that, I still love this movie. I still had a blast with this movie, but it is not the same tone.
Oh.
This movie, so a little history for this movie, is originally they were making a spin-off Jason Statham movie for Lee Christmas.
I gotcha.
And they announced they were going to make it. It was going to be a Jason Statham movie. Stallone was going to appear, blah, 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 blah. I believe they turned that movie into an Expend4bles movie because this is essentially a Jason Statham movie.
Okay.
Stallone is basically a cameo.
Okay.
He said that ahead of time. It wasn't a surprise to me. I knew he wasn't going to hardly be in the movie.
Right.
He's in the beginning a little bit, and that's kind of it. He's there kind of passing the torch. He said, I'm giving the franchise to Statham. And Statham, despite being technically an older action star, he's still a newer one in comparison to Schwarzenegger and Stallone and Lundgren and all these guys. That being said, I think it would have worked better had it been just a Jason Statham movie. The problem I had with the movie is you have Dolph Lundgren, you have Randy Couture, and that's it. You don't have any of the other cameos of the people we've been getting, and that's fine. We didn't need them, but these guys are almost sidelined as the old guys.
Yeah.
And they are the old guys, so it's Couture still moves way better. He's probably the youngest of the group of the bunks. Dolph Lundgren doesn't move as well as he used to.
Correct.
He's been having knee replacements. He still does great action, but they've intelligently built his character with addiction problems and his intelligence, and he didn't have to just be it. So that plays up a little bit in this one.
Okay.
Couture still can kick ass and stuff, and they still make the jokes about his
ears.
The ear jokes in this one. They did awesome by bringing in Tony Jaa and Iko Uwais. So we have some newer action blood in it. So they were one of the best parts of this movie. Iko Uwais is the bad guy in the movie. He's from the Raid.
Amazing, by the way.
He's the guy from the Raid.
I know who he is.
I
know who he is.
I know. I'm just
Where's Tony Chen or what?
Tony Jaa?
Tiger Chen.
Tiger Chen's not in this franchise.
I know. I want Tiger Chen.
Tony Jaa is an actually kind of a spoiler, I guess, but not really. He's another Expendable, but he's gone and retired.
In the picture.
Huh?
He's in the picture.
No, but I mean of what he was.
Oh.
He's an Expendable, and he's kind of gone, but he's now at peace now. And so, of course, when he finally unleashes, he's like, whoa! The problem I had for this movie, there's some bad CGI in the movie.
No.
I was able to I didn't care about the bad CGI. I was here for the ass whooping, the gun shooting, and there's plenty of that here. So that saved a lot for me. The problem is the new cast. They're fine. It's Megan Fox, it's 50 Cent, and I forgot this other guy. They all do a good job with
Megan Fox has done action before. She's done that other military.
She was in the Transformers movie. She did some of the military.
That weird military
she's done action, and they all do a good job with the action. My problem is none of them are action stars.
Yeah.
So you're bringing in a cast of people, like even with the last movie, they brought in Ronda Rousey. They brought in,
Kellen Lutz was there, which
Kellen Lutz.
He moves well and he's big.
But he's done some action.
He's done some stuff. He did that spy movie.
Like 50 Cent is the only one in the group that I could probably say he's done a lot of action.
Probably actually really shot a bunch
and
of
he
stuff.
looks.
Sorry, Biddy.
No, he looks in shape. He fits the mold. But again, you're seeing these people, and all I'm seeing is Megan Fox, and I'm seeing 50 Cent, and I'm seeing I don't know the other guy's name. I apologize. The young Hispanic guy is even in the poster.
This one, Jason Scipio.
Yes. So he is playing Antonio Banderas' character's son.
Oh, I was going to ask about what happened to Antonio.
He's not there. And I don't think, unless I missed it, because they didn't have the hearing thing, but I don't think they said anything. But I will say he is one highlight of the movie. He's exactly, he does almost a dead on.
The same dialogue.
He's the same. He's like, you're my hero. It's almost exact same.
Good. I'm glad.
It bothers me. They should have just had Antonio.
Yeah, Antonio still looks good.
At least this case, they had a younger version of the same guy, and he's just as annoying. He drives everybody nuts. But like I said, the movie, I still had a blast with this movie. I will watch this movie again. But that's for the action stuff. Most everybody is. I'm just gonna say I don't care. So essentially, the premise of the story is Iko Uwais' character
is. This a spoiler alert?
Not really, but Iko Uwais' character is the villain, And
So put up
a
the spoiler
botched
alert.
situation happens in a mission. Statham is essentially blamed for it and said he's kind of booted out of the Expendables, right? Stallone's not there now. Like
Right.
he's there at the beginning, but he's kind of off doing something else. And so Statham gets booted. So now Megan Fox is the head of the Expendables. And that's where it falls apart for me. You've got Randy Couture, you've
Why
got Dolph
wouldn't we
Lundgren.
have brought back Ronda Rousey? I mean, all she's doing is playing video games.
That's my
I mean,
thing
she's
is why
making
not
money,
bring any
but-
of the other characters that we've had? Antonio Banderas, Ronda Rousey, like you said.
What's his name even?
I know
The
Jet Li's not
tattoo
doing this
guy.
stuff, but Terry Crews, Mickey Rourke,
Mickey Rourke.
all these people, or even somebody fresh and new that could have been some old action star, you know.
Bring back
You bring in Jeff Speakman or Scott
I'm just
Adkins.
saying,
you can't bring Scott Adkins when he did it.
no, but
You can
what's
bring
his
in John
name?
Cena. You could bring any of these guys that.
But from the other movie, oh my gosh, Chuck Norris, like for one scene,
well,
pass it on.
I didn't have a problem with him making a younger person because it's established she's already an expendable now. So she's not like they don't bring her in and say you're a new expendable and now you're in charge. But Andy Garcia is essentially the new Bruce Willis Harrison Ford character, Church.
Oh, okay.
He's not Church, he's a new guy.
Yeah.
And she kind of is with him. So that's why.
Okay.
So it's fine, but it's almost like they threw the formula that they've had in these series from the
Arnold
beginning.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's like they threw that formula out the window and said, and again, I think it's because it was supposed to be a Lee Christmas movie.
I got you.
And
Yeah,
now
yeah.
you call it Expendables. And this is kind of going to be the franchise killer because it did not do well this weekend. Nobody cared about it.
Okay,
Clearly.
can I
I don't
take
even
off
think
the
it made $10
spoiler
million.
alert? Here's what I want to know is what happened to Charisma Carpenter? They got married and now we never know anything about her?
No, because Jason Statham and Megan Fox are in a relationship, which you see in the traiailer. So
Did he divorce her? What
I don't
happened?
even talk about it because she's not in the third one
Wow.
either.
I know because they would have been
They
married
just
at
moved
that
on.
point.
They just moved on.
Wow.
I want to say in the third one they did mention her.
I'm gonna have to go watch it again. We
But it
just
doesn't
watched
matter.
it. I don't think so.
know. But like I said, I enjoyed the movie for what it is. It is the weakest one of the franchise. But again, it's weak because of what they did. Had this been a Lee Christmas movie, I think it would have worked better because I wouldn't have had the expectation of the Expendables.
Right.
I'd be like, oh, here's a different Expendables group that can be anybody. And that's part of what I love about the franchise is you have all these Expendables and they can be any age and any person. You can be a computer nerd. You can be this. But the films have been built around old school action stars. And then
Yeah, that's
Terry
the
Crews, who while he's older, he's still in great shape. He could carry it.
Phew.
He's not even in the franchise anymore. After, he in this third movie, he was kind of sidelined, but that was because he was shooting Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now he's mentioned he's kind of been booted because of the whole Me Too thing when he kind of outspoke. That's his theory from what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
I hope not.
But yeah, it's one of those that, like, if you wanted to go see it, I would go see it again.
Okay.
Like, I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I know I'm bashing it, but it wasn't the same as the previous ones. Had it not been for Statham kicking ass and Tony Jaa and Nico Uwais and still get to see the old school guys doing some stuff, it probably would have lost itself.
This makes me want to just go watch The Raid again. Like first, if you want some good
Yeah.
action and a
Like
decent story.
Stallone doesn't really do any action in this movie.
Mm.
He has I'll tell you now, he has one fight, and it's really more of a just kind of throws a guy.
Mm.
And it's not played up like he's too old. It's not played up.
Because he's not.
I mean, he is. He's in his 70s, but
he's still in good shape.
he
though.
is. But
Decent shape.
I'm sure he's probably like, I'm tired of doing all this stuff.
I'm sure.
I think all of them are, and I think this was meant to be kind of. I heard some rumblings that they were hoping to build like the franchise with a new young cast and maybe move forward without everybody else. And Statham is still. I mean, Statham's in mid to late 50s, if not almost 60s.
He's like 57 with
So he's almost 60, but they could
He looks
still
like
have
he's
him
doing
there
pretty
to lead the charge and be the Stallone role while bringing in younger people, and I also know they want people that can act. So you can't have anybody lead the charge like Ronda Rousey. That was her first movie, and she's not great in the movie on the acting side. She's gotten better
She's gotten
now.
better since then. That's what I'm
But
thinking. if
she
we put
wasn't
her
there
back
for
in.
their acting. She was there for her action and
Correct.
for being badass. Gina Carano has never been in these movies, but she's also kind of been blackballed by Hollywood for her crazy ramblings. I love her as an action star. I love her Muay Thai history. She just needs to shut her mouth. But now you have Tony Jaa in the mix. They've been wanting to get Jackie Chan in this franchise, and he hasn't showed up yet. So there's different things they can still do, but I think the bad box office put a nail in the coffin for this franchise.
Well, you know, when you can't get Jackie Chan, who do you go to?
Tiger Chan?
No, you go to what's her name?
Who? Oh, Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, they're not getting her either.
Okay,
She's an
fine.
Oscar winner now.
Wow.
You know, and they've even asked Steven Seagal to be in the franchise, and he turned it down. I'm like, what are you doing?
He's not doing nothing but this.
He don't do that anymore. And now he's like
He's
this.
just like he shoots. He does this. That's it. One take.
Which baffles me when he's like, the fact that I had heard that he turned it down, but he was the villain in Machete. I'm like, okay, you'll do the villain in Machete, but you won't be in Expend4bles. But
maybe he doesn't want to do that much action and running either.
He still puts out the same crap. But
well, he's under that contract, isn't he?
No, he's out of that.
Oh, is he?
That's why they didn't have a movie coming out every week anymore, because he was over it.
Okay.
Anyway, I enjoyed the movie, but I will still admit that it's not great in connection. It's getting horrible reviews.
No.
Like I said, there's a lot of the CGI is kind of cheesy.
I hope they're not like attacking anyone specific, because I hate when that happens.
I think that a lot of it has been kind of the same argument, is that this is not the formula for the Expendables anymore. Mm-hmm. But the Expendables movies have been attacked from day one.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, a movie with old action stars.
People.
And believe it or not, this franchise has never been a massive moneymaker. You would think it would have been with all the things they've done and the fact that we're on the fourth movie.
Yeah.
But it's never made that much money. It's, especially in the States, it's always been bigger internationally.
Yeah, of course.
And so I don't know if we've got the international numbers yet.
Who's the charge behind getting these movies out?
What do you mean?
Like, who pushes them if they're not doing that great? Like, who's putting their money out there?
I think that varies in probably every single movie. Different people put it out there. Different people say, hey, we can capitalize. There's still an audience. Or they look at something. Let's get a Megan Fox. Let's get a 50 Cent. We can get, like, that kind of makes sense of what they're trying to do. Say, you got the guys and people that love Megan Fox, bring them in. You got the hip hop world that loves 50 Cent, and he's an actor, and he's a mogul, and he's a producer, and let's bring him in. And he probably can bring people to pay for it. So I know they're looking at numbers and the draw. You know, Statham doesn't do that many movies anymore. He does them very spaced out, I think, because he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
You know, he had the Meg 2 coming out, which didn't do great, and Meg 1 did well. He's kind of lead this franchise, so it's that double-edged sword, I think, of what's really happening.
Why can't he be a James Bond? Is he not sophisticated
Jason Statham?
enough? Yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I mean, I guess he could be.
Whatever happened with the other guy being James Bond? Did everybody get all upset because he's a black man?
Idris Elba?
Yeah.
That was a hit and miss thing. Yeah, the Expendables movie only made $8 million this weekend.
Not even in the top on the box.
No, it was top 2 on the weekend.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was made $8 million
oh, it is
for
in
the
the top.
weekend.
There it is. Well, The Nun 2 still going strong.
But it also had, it was a budget of...
And Haunting in Venice, that's good.
Oh, where's it at? I want to say it was...
Great Wedding was barely holding on.
It had oh no, it doesn't say in here. but even it says, like, with the original film, only made $100 million.
That's why I'm saying, like, who's putting these out then if it's not?
And it made $85 million for the second one. They've gone down, so they shifted to PG-13 for the third one, hoping that would get more audience, because now people the younger audiences can go watch it. And even then, it did even worse and only made like $30 million total. So it's gone from making 100 to 85 to 39 to 8. Now these other ones I think are total, so this is just a weekend.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're gonna see for international audiences, which these kind of movies usually do way better. Like, I think the Meg 2 did really good internationally, just not domestically.
And it may do good in Asia because we have Tony Jaa and Iko Uwais.
Yeah, with Thailand and Indonesia.
They normally support they support their people.
But the action this here is really well done. Everybody in this cast gets a moment to shine. Everybody gets to fight. Everybody gets to shoot stuff. Everybody gets to blow up stuff. But like I said, this is a Jason Statham movie. This is a Iko Uwais, Tony Jaa movie. Tony Jaa's not in the movie as much as I want him to be, but when he's there, he's bringing the pain. And it's funny because I always find it cute to see Tony Jaa smile, because he doesn't smile a lot in his movies. He's always this. In this movie, he's like, because he has this smile that's kind of like it's an overbite type smile.
Aww.
And so the majority of the movie, when you see him, he's like, hello. He's all like, very like every Thai person we've ever met in Thailand.
They're so sweet.
And they're like, at one point, he's like, I cannot help you. And he's like, in a very stereotypical line, he's like, why can't I? He goes, because I spent a long time putting that person away so I can become at peace. And if I bring him out, I don't know if I can find my way back again.
Aww.
And then when you finally see him come back, he's like, face is painted black, and he's got machetes, and it's like a whole nother thing, and he starts whooping everybody's ass. So
nice. All right. Well,
anyway, if you like the Expendables movies, give it a chance. Just know it's a different formula, but there's some awesome action here.
Okay. All right, over to you.
It's in
kind
theaters
sir.
now.
What's coming out?
This week is another week that's not a lot of new stuff. It's a lot of re-releases too, but the two big new ones is the Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. Disney Pixar's Elemental's getting the Blu-ray treatment and stuff, but you still haven't watched
I haven't
yet.
watched. What was Mackenzie saying about that?
She says she loved it.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good. That's our child.
But then they're getting a lot
An
of
adult
4K,
child.
a lot of 4K releases. The Interview with the Vampire Season 1 TV series.
You know what? I was wanting to go watch that the other day.
Well, good luck because it's AMC. So unless
Do we have that?
we don't. No, not yet. You mean the movie?
Yeah.
We have the movie. We don't have
Okay.
the TV series.
Okay, I've been wanting to watch. Yeah, it's on that.
It's AMC, so you're gonna have to wait till it either shows up on Netflix or we get a copy because we don't have AMC Plus streaming.
Yeah, I'm not paying for all that.
The Carlito's Way is getting the 4K treatment through Arrow Video, which is a great movie.
Wow.
Have you ever seen Carlito's Way with Al Pacino, Sean Penn? Great flick.
I don't know. We'll have to watch it.
What else is La Bamba's getting the Criterion Collection release, and Natural Born Killers is getting a 4K release through Shout Factory.
Shout!
And Natural Born Killers is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yes, it is.
Directed by Oliver Stone, written by Quentin Tarantino. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is getting a 4K release.
Nice.
Evil Bong 888 Infinity High, which I believe is the new chapter of that. My Bloody Valentine Collector's Edition 4K, I'm assuming is the original. That's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Coming out.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
At theaters or online.
I'm very excited this week.
So tomorrow, Monday the 25th, coming to video demand and digital is a movie called The Tower.
Don't care.
Residents of this tower wake up to find that their entire building is shrouded in darkness, but that darkness comes to devour you. So watch out.
The other one that wasn't on my list that I do want to tell everybody it's coming out.
Oh yeah, we're
is
gonna watch
Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2 movie, the new original animated film, which was one of the movies that supposedly got written off.
I'm so glad.
And then it got leaked. And so it became a big thing of people were trying to find it and download it, and it got leaked because it was supposedly never going to see it. But then Warner Brothers officially is putting it out.
We will be talking about that.
So it features the Justice League and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, sorry about that.
Okay, the next movie coming out tomorrow on the line, video demand digital, a movie called The Job of Songs. It's this. I don't even understand how to. It's this. People in Ireland go to the
Ireland,
the cliffs of Moher, and the treasure lies there, and people are singing and doing things. I don't necessarily understand because it's very traditional folk songy stuff, but I'm interested to learn more. So we'll see. It's a documentary, so I think I will learn something about why these people go there, about their traditional songs, all the things that they do there. Okay, Tuesday, video demand and digital. Something called Sniper Grit.
Oh God, it's the next chapter of the Sniper franchise. It should have died years ago.
Okay, so that's all you need to know. This time they're infiltrating a cult, and they're trying to save people. Also coming on video demand and digital, a documentary, The River Runs On, following people in the Appalachian, and yeah, U.S. Forest Service trying to save the forest. I don't know what's happening, but that's what it is. Video demand and digital, Dreamin' Wild.
Dreamin' Wild.
Casey Affleck. I don't know what this is about. People on the farm in the 70s. Donnie and Joe Emerson's family leveraged their farm in the 1970s to produce the brothers' record, Dreamin' Wild. Okay, coming out Wednesday, the Hulu thing you need to know. It's a new series called Love and Fairhope.
Is that a cartoon?
No, it's an actual
horrible.
thing. It's about
Okay.
fairy tale loves and
It's about Perry Como?
yes,
I'm
it's
excited for the
about
next one there.
people star in the story to inspire their own, where fantasies and realities combine. Okay, Netflix, The Wonderful Story of Harry Sugar.
It's the new Wes Anderson show.
So I'm interested. It's an adaptation, it says, of Roald Dahl's story and involved 3 mini films.
Yes.
So it's going to be
It's
interesting.
Wes Anderson who did Asteroid City. And all
Yeah,
that stuff,
so
I'm very excited.
I'm curious to see it. And then a documentary called Encounter, the series about alien encounters. It's on Netflix. I'll be there. Thursday, coming to Netflix, a movie called Love is in the Air. It's a romantic comedy about this this lady's trying to keep her family together, but then the corporations involved. I don't even know, guys. I didn't read through all these like I should have because somebody was rushing me, and I was trying to redo my office, which I should never do, and it's a whole big ordeal. Okay, coming out Friday in theater, something called The Kill Room.
It actually looks really good. I just watched the trailer for that.
So it's a hitman his boss, an art dealer, and a money launderer in a scheme that goes wrong. And it looks like Samuel L. Jackson and Uma Thurman and Joe Magliano. And he's just coming off that divorce. I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
so we'll see. Also coming out on Friday at the theater, a movie called The Creator. It says a sci-fi story set in the future.
You've seen that trailer.
But that's all it tells you.
That's the movie with John David Washington with the androids and.
Yes,
it looks really good.
It looks like they're trying to save the child robot, but then again, the child robot might be the evil one. We don't know.
It's directed by the same guy that directed Rogue One.
So this is where it gets me. Like, I think it's Skynet is real kind of thing, but you get to the point where could the alien actually, I mean, the robot be on our side or is it against us? But then the robot little kid in the trailer is like, I just want to live happy and free. But does that mean at the cost of killing all the humans? Yeah. I don't know. It looks
fantastic.
Coming out also in theaters this Friday, Saw Part 10.
You had to think about what X was.
No, it was like 10. Guys, this
we
now
are
looks
a Saw
like
family.
It's a prequel. There's my Saw paper right there.
Yes, it is.
It
takes place between 1 and 2.
Prequel, sequel? Hold on. Let me show y'all.
I made sure to pack it and bring it and had it noticeable because I knew the movie was coming.
Last time we watched the Saw franchise, I made notes through every single one, and I drew a timeline because some of them are happening at the same time as others, like these kind of happening, and then this happened. So I'm gonna have to add to my Saw thing, but it's gonna have to go over here, so I'm gonna have to add a paper. I might have to type this up and make a spreadsheet. Anyways, I'm very excited.
Is it double-sided or just one?
No, it's just one side. I used reused paper.
That purposely got moved and made sure there was, because it was just rolled up in the floor in our old movie room, so I had to pack it and make sure it was safe.
Coming to Apple TV Plus on Friday, Flora and Son. It's single mom Flora dealing with her teenage son, who's petty theft, encouraged by the police to find a hobby, and she gets him a beat up guitar in a dumpster, and there we go.
This I know this is limited up here, but that movie Muzzle,
okay.
It actually looks really good.
What is that?
It's Aaron Eckhart, who was Two-Face and Batman.
Oh, and a canine officer.
This officer's dog is killed with poison, and he's trying to figure out who is. So in the trailer, he goes and gets this other canine out of the pound or lockup, and he's like crazy. And so he takes him on, but it's not a comedy, it's like a serious one, and they're out hunting the killers who killed his dog partner. It looks great.
Did I tell you about the dogs today?
My dog?
We were talking about all dogs go to heaven. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was on the way to church this morning, and there were these 2 dogs in the middle of the road, and traffic was completely stopped. And I had the urge to try to coerce them to get into the truck so I could take them to the pound, but I was trying to get to church. So instead, I called the police, the non-emergency number, and I was like, there's 2 dogs. I said, traffic's kind of stopped. I said, I don't care about car accidents. I said, I don't want anyone to hit the dogs. Yeah. I said, I want to make that clear. I don't care about cars. I care about the dogs. Yes, I said, it's a black lab. He was big.
She basically ratted out these dogs. Now they're in the lockup because of you.
Well, I hope they belong to
after our dog's history.
Lab, but you could tell it was big, but it was a baby. You could tell it was a puppy still. And then this brown kind of wolfy dog looking thing. It was so cute. Anyways, I hope they save it.
Our dog has history of jail time, and now you're going to send more.
Also coming out on Friday, the Netflix, a movie called Nowhere. This is attempting to survive in the middle of nowhere. It's going to be interesting. And I think Prime Video this week, there's a new series called Gen 5. It says the world of the boys becomes Gen 5 beyond.
Oh, that's the spinoff of the Boys TV show. Yeah.
If you're into that. Video Demand and Digital, Before the Sunset. It looks like a drama fantasy.
Really, the only movie we care about this week is Saw.
No, I want to also see.
I want to see the creator,
the Kill Room.
The Kill Room will probably be a harder one to find.
I know,
but we'll figure it out. We have
some of the Netflix stuff.
We already have other stuff scheduled.
I want to see the story of Henry Sugar.
Yeah, that'll probably be next week. Probably that the Saw, the Scooby-Doo movie.
Yes, for sure. And
there's also the
tower looks really
Gangnam Zombie, which comes out this week on Blu-ray.
The
other thing that's I forgot that comes out on Blu-ray this week is they're doing a 4K steelbook release of School of Rock with Jack Black.
Fun.
Fun fact, Jack Black is also in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer as like a Rastafarian pothead.
I don't even remember that. So the first one?
No, I Still Know What You Did.
Oh, the second one.
When they're on the tropical island, the Bahamas.
Wow, I don't even remember that.
It's Mekhi Phifer and
This
Brandy.
ain't no Mekhi Phifer.
It's Brandy and
yes, I remember that.
Jennifer Love.
Mm-hmm.
She is so fine in that movie too, girl. She got the tiggle bitties and she got a
She's
flat
cute
stomach.
now.
She's cute now, but now she's got a lot tiggle everything.
I know. She has like
babies
3 kids.
She's older, and I don't judge her. I still think she's cute now.
She's still pretty.
And I've always thought she was a better heroine than Neve Campbell.
Yes.
I know a lot of people don't think that. People like Neve Campbell more than Scream. You're more of a Scream person.
I'm a Scream person.
I think The Killer and stuff is a fun storyline for this. Know What You Did Last Summer movies, but the first 2, the third one's fine. I'm gonna rewatch it just because I'm in a kick right now, but
yeah,
the third one's kind of trash.
All right.
Anyway,
tell me about our contest.
So our contest this week, we finally have some new stuff, as I just mentioned, Gangnam Zombie, and I'm telling you now, if we watch this movie and at some point it goes, the Gangnam Style, and the zombies don't start dancing, I'm giving it a bad review. We have copies of that. We still have a couple of copies of The Flash still on 4K. We have a few more copies of Goodbye Monster, as well as another new one called Creepy Crawly, which I believe is in.
I don't like Creepy
Crawlies.
Crawlies.
It's a Thai movie.
Oh, okay.
Thai or Indonesian. It's one of those, I believe.
It's gonna be good then.
Or it might have been Korea. I think you may have told me otherwise. I don't remember.
Korean.
It doesn't matter. Then we also, keeping up, this is clearly getting into October. I've got copies of Halloween H2O on 4K.
I really liked this movie. I don't think many people did, but I did.
I enjoyed it. It took us back kind of the original.
But now with the newer movies, this is kind of wiped out, right?
Yeah, the new ones that came out. So there's like 3 or 4 timelines.
Like, you could go this way, you could go this way.
Yeah, so if you look at the Halloween timelines, you have Halloween 1, 2, then it jumps into this one.
Okay.
And then this one goes into Resurrection. Then you have Halloween 3, which is by itself.
Yeah.
Then you have the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
Okay, there's their own.
Then you have the original series, which goes from 1 through like 6. Then you have the new series, which goes 1, and then Halloween ends and kills and whatever they are. Yeah. So there's like 4 to 5 timelines you can pick and choose.
It's like pick your own adventure.
It is. It really is. And so whenever they revitalize that franchise again, which inevitably they will, we're also giving away copies of The Exorcist on 4K, the original. And it's got both the director's cut and the original theatrical edition, which the director's cut has the famous spider crawl down the stairs sequence and things like that. And it's
did she do that, or did they hire a little contortionist?
I don't remember if it was her or not, but the way they did it is actually somebody hooked to almost like a fishing rod, holding them up. I don't know if it was a fishing rod, but that kind of apparatus, and then had them walking down. I want to say it was her, but it might have been a contortionist they got and then held them up and then let them walk down. I remember reading the whole story about it at the time. Anyway, it's perfect time to watch that, getting ready for the new Exorcist Believer, which is also made by the same David Gordon Green, who directed the new trilogy of Halloween. He's doing the same thing, where that one is a direct sequel to the first one.
Okay.
I don't remember if they're counting Exorcist 2 as part of that one.
There's a lot of these, though.
There's only 3.
Exorcist.
I believe there's only 3 of them.
Exorcist.
Because Exorcist 2 the Heretic.
Exorcist 3. What about Exorcist the Beginning? We watched that one.
Oh, that was like a prequel kind of thing.
With one of the Skarsgårds.
Yeah, I always forgot about that movie altogether. Okay. Anyway, that's what we got.
I liked that one though. It was European, so it was more scary to me in Europe.
Also, I keep forgetting different things because they weren't on my list to talk about. And is it this week? I don't know why it wasn't on the list. I didn't do it early, did I? No, it's this week. Insidious: The Red Door is getting released this week on Blu-ray and DVD, which is technically the final chapter of the Insidious films until somebody decides to reboot it. And also the very first Disney Plus original series, Loki, is getting, and I say it's not the first one, but it's the first one getting physical release.
Yeah, a copy.
So it's getting the 4K and Blu-ray release. And they are releasing Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, as well as WandaVision.
Oh, like a physical copy.
Physical copies.
Wow. Okay, cool.
So yeah, so those are coming out too for those that are like the physical stuff like ourselves.
Hey.
Like we've gotten into the digital copies because they're easier, but I there's certain things I want my physical copies.
There's an entire wall.
Now, you can't see it, but
you can see the end of it there, but it's the entire wall. All right, friends. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Make sure you check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. Go find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and hi.
Join us next week as we talk about Saw.
Okay, that's pretty much it.
Anything else that get in there will be thrown up, but this is going to be a Saw show.